As you know, LEGO is releasing a Daily Planet Modular Building in 2027, and the future of LEGO DC depends on it being a success. So today we're going to look at everything the Daily Planet needs to include to be a 10 out of 10 set. And the most important factor in this set's success is the value. If it's overpriced, it obviously won't sell well. And this set is rumored to be between $300 to $400, which means it needs a minimum of 3,000 pieces and at least 15 minifigures in my opinion. Here are some comparable sets. As you can see, they both hit 10 cents per piece and have a huge minifigure selection with lots of exclusive figures. But assuming this set is a good value, it still has to look good, and the biggest question for the build of this set is whether it will be comics-based or DCU-based, and I do think comics would be the better and safer option for LEGO here, but DCU fans can still enjoy it because the DCU Daily Planet is quite accurate to the comics. And if there's one thing I'm not worried about for this set, it's that the exterior of this building will look incredible. It's been a long time since LEGO messed up any modular building or 18+ building of any kind, so I'm sure that will continue here. And the interior of this build also needs to be very detailed with plenty of Easter eggs and references, but the rest of the superhero modulars have all done a fantastic job with this, so I'm sure they will crush it once again. But now on to my biggest concern, the selection and quality of the minifigures will absolutely make or break the sales of this set. So let's take a look at what minifigures need to be included in this set, as well as what minifigures I would like to see. Starting off, you obviously need Superman, but this cannot just be any Superman. It needs to be the best Superman minifigure LEGO has ever produced. If they just copy the design from Fortnite, that would be incredible, but either way, this needs to set itself apart from Superman minifigures of the past. And up next, I've got Supergirl, and not only does this one make sense lore-wise, it would also be a great selling point for the set, since the previous Supergirl minifigures have risen to over $70 in value since the release of the Supergirl movie. But moving on, you obviously need the staff of the Daily Planet, and the 4 non-negotiables here are Clark Kent, Lois Lane, Jimmy Olsen, and Perry White. But I think you want at least 6 minifigures to populate this building, so throw in a couple more like Cat Grant and Steve Lombard, and you've got a solid lineup for the Daily Planet staff. But moving on, I'd love to see some representation of the DCU Justice Gang, so getting a Guy Gardner Green Lantern, a Hawk Girl, and a Mr. Terrific would be amazing, and if they wanted to do a Metamorpho, they could, but I don't think it's particularly necessary. And now on to the villain side of things. Lex Luthor is the obvious one here, but beyond him, there's several different routes you could go, but there's one minifigure that would sell this set all on its own, that of course being Clayface. And he has a very memorable moment in Final Crisis where he sets off a bomb in the Daily Planet, injuring Lois Lane and several other staff members. And with the Clayface movie coming out later this year, there has never been a better time to finally get a Clayface minifigure. And beyond that, you throw in a few classic Superman villains. But the last thing I think this minifigure lineup absolutely needs is some references to Superman Man of Tomorrow, which will be launching around the same time. So I think the obvious ones are Lex Luthor in his power suit, as well as Brainiac, and maybe a third minifigure that we haven't seen from the movie as well would be fantastic. And a huge contributing factor to the success of the Daily Bugle modular building was its use of its 18+ branding to include some more mature characters that we wouldn't see in any other set. And if the Daily Planet applies this same concept and includes maybe a Peacemaker and a Vigilante, it would absolutely do wonders for the sales of this set. And after LEGO's treatment of the Punisher in Spider-Man Brand New Day, this does seem quite unlikely, but it doesn't hurt to hope. So those are my thoughts on what the 2027 Daily Planet needs to be a perfect set. Let me know if you think I missed anything, as well as what you're most excited for with this set. Subscribe for future content, and have a great day.